Well, I suppose this works for a kind of excursion. This is really nice, cool weather, and we've been really lucky to have this kind of weather recently because it's been so hot. It's been like in the 80s and 90s recently, and I'm a big hot weather person. But really, when it comes down to it, I appreciate a little bit of the good and the bad, the blue and the red, the hot and the cold. So there was supposed to be a cold front that went through certain parts of Montana, and I believe certain parts of Montana got snow. I'm pretty sure we got some light snowflakes on the mountain over at Casper Mountain. I'll show you guys the view if you can see the anything but white sky there, but I'm afraid it's all white sky and fog, sadly. Here's a kind of abandoned tennis court that's pretty cool. And this is private property, but I believe it's not particularly maintained on certain levels. So pretty interesting. But yeah, it's just, kind of like see your breath kind of weather. It is pretty early. It's right around 8:30 to 9 a.m. So I am smoking Pyramid Blue today. And, just ever trying to find my own particular niche. I'll keep walking and gallivanting. I'm trying to find my certain niche in YouTube as a vlogger. And really, there's some great channels out there that just have millions and millions of subscribers, and they just know how to create really good, entertaining, kind of ensnaring content that people really appreciate. And I just thought I would kind of enjoy the plant life and look at different kinds of scenes here around Adams Park. And boy, it's really just serene and beautiful. I really enjoy it, just looking around and kind of seeing the landscape in a different way, because rarely I'm up and at 'em this early in the morning. Here's some cool brush there. I think that's really enjoyable. Yellow is my favorite color, so. But yeah, just walking along this path. It's kind of maybe a couple acres of a path until you get to the actual park. And I'm wearing black as always, so doing my best just to not stand out too much, but enjoy the scenery. Go for a walk. This is a really nice little pasture here because of it's not too elevated, but it loops around, and it's just really pleasant. Nice little scenic path. Adams Park is one of my favorite parks in town. And yeah, I'll go ahead and light up here. Pause for a moment. A little bit of a light breeze. But not too much to halt the flame of my ignition of smoking. And yeah, just wow. I can see the leaves kind of changing there. Into a beautiful yellow hue. Kind of God's gift to man, so to say. Really pleasurable and enjoyable. And yeah, there goes my breath there. The sky is actually kind of a dark gray at some point, so I think we might get some moisture today. But yeah, God's gift to man, as some would say, just like tobacco, whether you smoke it through a hookah or a pipe or a paper tube, or if you prefer more artificial forms of nicotine. It's out there for us consumers of the product. Really gentle, pleasing environment. Some puppies barking in the background, and definitely some birds chirping at the rise of the sun a couple hours ago. I kind of had an insomniac period where I was just like, yeah, I'll sleep for 2 hours after midnight, and then I just had some coffee and I stayed up and I just wanted to keep my thoughts going, and I've been YouTubing it all night long. Really enjoyable. But yeah. I'll try to get this video uploaded as soon as possible. But more or less, this landscape, minus the kind of deciduous trees in the background, this kind of landscape is pretty much ideal for what Wyoming is. A lot of sagebrush, just miles and miles of sagebrush. And the thing I like about parks is that it's just so isolated, and it's so kind of like a nice oasis. Oasis would be the perfect word. In the midst of neighborhoods sprawling for miles, a park, especially when I'm the only one here, it feels like I'm back one with nature, and really just a part of everything again, from which we came as humans: nature, the trees, the land that was once the Native Americans, 100% belonging to them. I'm kind of walking away from this sector of the park, and that was the center of that half sector. But yeah, just a really intriguing landscape here. I'm not sure if this is maintained in the summer or not, but so far it's late August, and this really hasn't been kept, very well. I see some mud stains and fallen leaves and whatnot. Pretty interesting. If you guys like certain photography apps like FOAP, FOAP, or if you guys like things like Instagram, this would be a perfect place for some nice pictures of things like vines, or just good autumn leaves changing. I'm about 100 feet away from the road, so give or take a few, as you might hear some trucks in the distance. But yeah, without a doubt, very intriguing landscape. And if you guys watch One Punch Man, the anime One Punch Man, he is actually... Ooh, there's a pretty robin that just flew over the way, or a finch. But yeah, One Punch Man, there was a scene where he was fighting the freedom fighters, so to say, the kind of communist personalities who had super suit armor that was black and gave them muscles. That particular episode of One Punch Man. And they were walking through a forest, and I thought it was some kind of forest when I was watching that particular episode yesterday, and it was like, wow, they're miles away from city, but really it's just they were in the center of the city park, and it just sprawled for miles and miles for that particular cartoon episode. But yeah, like I said, a nice little oasis away from one paradise to another. If you like urban sprawl and you just want to get out, thank heavens for parks, and that we have parks in the United States, just to kind of get away from it all. But I'll end my video there, guys. Thanks for viewing. One last puff. As always, snowy croquet.